First, there was more.
There was like 100 messages that like that. He just kept going.
Yeah,
and then
he went even
DM
more in DM. Yeah.
Damn.
That's scary.
Has some passion about it.
What's his name? Barry?
Nah, his name was Nasib.
Where do you go to talk to some of these people, man? Do you have some like
people be coming after him,
like Arab wife finder or something? Or there's like these husbands over here just like to DM you about what you do. Shit.
Should journalists just start an OnlyFans just for like the people who hate them, just so they can send them troll videos and they repost them?
That would actually be kind of smart.
Fuck!
Honestly.
Why do I keep giving away great ideas for nothing?
Oh my god.
All right, so next up we got a touchdown and turnover, right?
I'll have to make up a fake troll account and just send random old takes at Pete. See if he still stands on it.
See, I like that one. All right,
nice.
Touchdown or turnover 1. Jalen Ramsey fine, but Golden Tate not for post-game fight.
Remember what I said last week about energy being put out to the universe, only for it to come back years later in the form of someone getting their ass whooped? The universe is like, you got your ass whooped so bad, we're not even gonna find you, dog. Like, use that money to go get boxing lessons.
Probably lost some endorsements by losing the fight or something.
How come receivers like have hands and can catch? Like, he won a Bolitnikoff in college at Notre Dame. How can receivers have hands but don't have hands?
Is Jalen Ramsey the 50 Cent of the NFL?
He might be. Is Golden Tate Ja Rule? We're going to forget his whole career? Shit.
That's a pretty good comp.
Damn, so that means like that Golden Tate's sister is Ashanti now?
Really? Ja Rule was Ashanti's brother?
Nah, but there's like, who would be the woman in the middle of them?
I don't know.
Damn.
Well, moving on. NFL doctors say the NFL bubble wouldn't be conducive to the health of the players.
Because what we're doing right now is conducive to the players' health. Definitely a turnover.
I'm going to say it's a touchdown.
Touchdown.
What the hell?
See, again, Izzy be having drops.
I'm stunned by that one. Why? Explain.
It's a touchdown for the sheer fact that they know they can't like fuck this up any worse than it already is. Like, college is going to shit. We don't even have the COVID numbers for high school. And wait till California high school football starts back up. Dear Lord.
Yeah.
I'm afraid, actually.
I mean,
I'm afraid for these kids.
Numbers going up through the entire country right now, record level and stuff. I mean...
And like in California, LA County, they said the numbers like hit an all-time low since like...
Yeah, but we've always been high here in LA County.
Yeah, we've been like...
We've like, there's just so many people in such a little spot, and they just... and then we count everything, you know? There's... you got to understand that one, but...
There's people who don't count. They're like, they stay hidden, and then they come out, so...
Yeah.
There's people really chilling at the beach right now. And
it's like LGBTQ plus... Yeah,
XRW.
But you know,
you guys are problematic.
I started that one. I'm sorry, everybody. But like with COVID, I mean, with all these, I mean, just like I just kind of said a second ago. I mean, the Broncos got postponed because of the Patriots. I mean, like, and then
they said it was a dinner.
I mean, Chargers had 4 games changed, and they have not had one positive test because of all these other teams. I mean, now they're getting what's the next level because they've already moved enough. That, like you said last week, going to have to be forfeits pretty soon.
Titans, but now there's,
They I mean, think about it. Like one of these other teams, like say for instance, if New Orleans all of a sudden gets a breakout because of one of these teams that they had played, there's no other room for moving these things other than extending and making the Super Bowl later. I mean, would it be their fault because they can't? There's no more room to reschedule, even though they had their first outbreak. While Patriots have been they have 2 games postponed, or 2 postponed, and then a Tuesday night football taking place of a Thursday night suckfest. You know, Jesus. Who was supposed to play tonight anyway?
They said suckfest. Oh wow.
I don't know. Last week we got a good game, though.
Last week was a good game. That's a rare thing on Thursday night.
I still probably wasn't as happy about even beating the Chiefs as you were about beating the Buccaneers.
I was excited. I think you just shot me down harder than anything.
He let you name a puppy and then killed it in front of you on your birthday.
I was editing that. I was like, oh, my feelings are hurt again.
This was hatred that didn't need to be put in the world.
PTSD.
He was begging you to stop. Like, he gave you his wallet. He wrote his social security number down, and you just kept pounding his face.
I honestly wasn't trying to comfort you like that, but it was just the timing.
No, it was just hilarious, though.
I was hurt for you. I was like, bro, stop. It was like fucking the Breakfast Club. Stop. You want another one, buddy? No. Mitch, stop. Like, I was like, P, he's already dead.
Well,
I would have to say the touchdown because they know, like, I mean, the new guidelines that they put in Tuesday, like, if you get positive, you miss 5 games, which is essentially you miss a whole game.
Mm-hmm.
But if they know we can't do an NBA bubble just because the NBA did a bubble, great. Because the NFL had all this time and could have worked together with college football to set something up, but they didn't because the conferences weren't all aligned, and the conferences and everybody are looking to the NFL. The NFL didn't have a plan in place because they're like, no, we'll just go in there and figure it out. And you got fucking Apollo Crews in that one Rocky movie where he got murdered. I
think everybody in the NFL was at that point like, well, this should pass by this time. Well, you know, the NBA had to take a different approach because they're restarting something. They didn't have, for one, in general, they have less people than the NFL. 2, they had less teams, only some teams that were in the chance, even though for some reason Phoenix Suns beat everybody and didn't still get into the playoffs. But they had a restart. So with the NFL, I think they just want to go business as usual. I mean, some of them are still even trying to have fans as much as possible, and they're like nothing's happening. And
Kansas City,
Dallas. I think Florida's going to even do more when all
Florida's
those things.
full capacity, and Florida's head coach Dan Mullen stands behind. He wants the whole stadium to be packed out, and then they postpone the game.
Yeah,
I'm saying Florida, stop it.
But don't
fire those cannons off either.
See what happens. I mean, when something drastic really happens, then then things are going to really suck.
Their PR team is getting every dollar that they're worth. I'll tell you that. They're working nonstop.
All right, let's move on to the next. AFC North is statistically the best division in football. Steelers are undefeated. Ravens and Browns are 4-1, and we won't talk about
Browns
the other ones.
are 4-1.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are the Browns beat, bro?
The Cowboys.
They beat the Colts last week.
They beat the Colts.
I was like, wait, the Browns are good?
The only team they lost to was the Ravens that they played, right? Or did they play the Ravens?
They got the dog shit beat out of them by the Ravens.
Yeah, bad.
I mean, that's what happens when your older brother beats you up. Your older sibling just beats
your
ass
if your quality wins are against the Colts and the Cowboys, like
who else they beat?
The Bengals, the what the fucks.
In Washington, yeah. So, I mean, who do they play this week?
The Where's the Food?
The Bengals again. And
they
play
the
back-to-back? Then they play the Texans. Then they play the Eagles. Then they play the Giants. Their schedule's fucking trash. They have the Giants and the Jets. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to be fucking 10-6 off a shitty-ass schedule.
Or they might go Cleveland and just choke. They can't beat Pittsburgh. They're definitely not making a wild card.
If they... Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, it depends what...
Houston might sneak past them. Because the AFC South is going to... They always shit their pants the last 3 weeks of the season.
Oh, Browns play Steelers this week.
Yep.
So... I mean, it should be a decent game.
It's just weird, man, because it's like they're really statistically the best foot. Like,
they have a lot of talent.
AFC West 2 weeks ago.
They're like the Cowboys of the Midwest, you know?
Well, the AFC West would be a lot better if the Chargers didn't, do what they always do and lose 4 games by less than a touchdown.
I want to root for the Chargers to be successful just because no one should fail that much in life after trying so hard.
Yeah.
It's like, fam, just do it. Get over
They'll have their day.
Please.
I think Herbert's a good direction. I mean, even Keenan Allen got hurt.
Mike Williams got hurt at the end of the game. I was like,
yeah, that was a hard fall, too.
He made that catch, and Lattimore made that game-saving tackle because he was, literally half an inch from the first down. You could see he reached his arm out. I'm just like, but the sad thing is, if Herbert had looked up and he had saw KJ Hill in the slot, he was down the field running by himself on a post. But the problem is KJ Hill dropped an easy pass that would have converted that 3rd and 7. So, Herbert looked for Mike Williams because he could trust him on 4th and 7. And there you go.
All right, so can I do a game real quick just to close it out?
Sure. Is it a turnover though? That the AFC North is the best statistical?
Yeah, it definitely is because the Brown schedule's trash.
Where's the food? I'm just gonna start calling the team formerly known as the Deadskins. Where's the food? Because they are hungry for some success, but they are just devoid of it.
All right, so
Kyle Allen's trash.
I'm gonna name a player potentially on the trade block, and you can just tell me 1, if you would trade him, and 2, if you have a destination in mind, where would you trade him to?
Bet. And shout out to everybody who's actually trying to play touchdowns and tangents bingo. You're probably either drunk or high right now. You definitely marked that whole board up.
All right, first up, Dwayne Haskins. Would you trade him if you're the Washington Redskins? And where would be the best landing spot for Haskins?
If I were the what the fucks, I would not trade him because Kyle Allen's trash, and he's also known to get hurt. And if Alex Smith goes down, because
he's not going to come back from this,
they already sent him home because he got sick, the stomach flu thing. Like, they're gonna forcibly throw him out there.
Bro, you don't drop your supermodel girlfriend for a grenade on the Jersey Shore and then go back to your supermodel
Jersey's
girlfriend
a horrible
like,
place.
It's all good.
That happens. Jersey's a horrible place. That happens. Try again. Pick a different place.
I don't know, but you get the point. Point is, you don't have something better, leave it for something worse, and then expect to go back full circle. Like, oh,
didn't you go to Carl's Jr.?
Fuck.
Didn't you go to Carl's Jr.?
Yeah, that's true.
After being burned numerous times?
All right.
Del Taco's a better choice.
The last time we went to Carl's Jr.,
Wiener Schnitzel?
I only ordered food because you were paying.
What would you say to Haskins in Minnesota?
I don't remember going to Carl's Jr. That would actually be perfect because it would need to be a vertical office, but I think Zimmer's going to get fired too.
Next up, Gus Edwards, one of the 3 running backs out in Baltimore. He's second on the team with 34 carries, but they obviously drafted J.K. Dobbins in the second round of the draft. He already has 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. So
wait, J.K. Dobbins has that much yards?
Yeah. So
take him on my fantasy team.
Yeah, Gus Edwards. Would you trade him, 1, and where would you try to trade him to?
I wouldn't trade him because you're better off trading Ingram. Because let's be honest,
can't get anything for Ingram. He's 31. He still makes like double digits.
He hasn't done anything this year, though.
What are you going to get for Gus Edwards?
4th round pick, 5th round pick.
No. There are rookie running backs out there who can do the same thing he can do. So they're stuck with him. If anything, they can't veer from their offense right now. If anything, I would trade or get rid of one of their receivers. What is Miles Boykin doing? Shout out to Notre Dame receivers who always bust out.
How about this one? L.A. Charger.
Yeah, they're figuring out on the running game.
They're not gonna bring a new running back in there and ruin the confidence of the running backs that are already in there.
Because Eckler's out for a while.
It would be nice, but I mean, you have Joshua Kelly, who's faster, more athletic, and can run just as hard as Gus Edwards. But their line is hurt. They played with the Saints without their starting left tackle, guard, and right tackle. Balaga, all of them were out.
Next, speaking of receivers, Curtis Samuels with the Carolina Panthers. He's supposedly like the 3rd receiver now behind Rodney Anderson and DJ Moore. Could be a candidate to get traded. Would you trade him, and where would you trade him to?
No, I wouldn't trade him. I think they actually finally have like a good trio at receiver for the first time in a while. Anderson's
he could be a good fit in Baltimore, though.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
They would actually use him.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be opposed to it, but the only issue is Bridgewater's playing better. He's getting more confident in that system. And if you look at Robbie Anderson, he's 5th in the league in receiving. And
yeah, he's balling.